And looks like we are live. What's happening, everybody? You know who it is. It's your boy, Big Tank Hank, coming at you with another live stream. And in the house, we got a special guest, Mr. Dylan, a veteran Aquatics. How do, sir? How do?
It goes very well. How's it go?
Pretty good, pretty good. Hey,
Good.
welcome. I see y'all falling in. Thank you for coming through. Let me do a few shout outs. Off the Hook Outdoors was first in the house. Take Top Tropic. Aim Spirit Fish, thank you. Patrick Hardy. Scott's Aquatics. Geek Boy. Madrul Singh. Bottom Dwellers Aquatic. Xana Doo Doo. How do? Byron Ballman. Florida Fish Rescue. Michael Long. Stephen P. 2003. Danikin, welcome, sir. Welcome. Lonnie, aka Lonnie Tunes. T's Fish Tank. GRB, good day, mate. Brian Bowman, John McKenzie. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all. And thank you, Dylan, man, for coming through here to visit us in the fishy den.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, most definitely, man. I've been watching you, peeping you for a minute, man. I was like, yeah, we gotta bring you on here, man. Let everybody know what you got going on, because there's a few people somewhere that may not know, exactly what it is that you can do, and you can pick them up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm always
Hey, I
doing
see you,
stuff.
Jet.
It's nonstop. Like I'm always and forever changing something or fixing something or making something better or scheming new plans for like more tanks. It's just
Most definitely.
nonstop.
Keeping your hands wet, most definitely. Cooper
Always.
Aquatics, JJ Aquariums, HC Aqua, Jess. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, give them a little introduction of yourself. Tell them what a young Dylan's life may look like. Leading into the fish world.
So I got started keeping fish when I was probably 9 or 10. My dad always had a fish tank. It was like a 55 gallon with angelfish, silver dollars, corridors, like your standard community stuff. And I got my first tank, and I got some guppies, and started breeding guppies. And then I realized I could sell them to the pet store and get. I mean, it was 30 cents a fish, but that was good money when I was 10. So I ended up with 9 or 10 fish tanks strewn across my bedroom on every available desk and dresser, and I kept fish for a long time like that. And I had some really cool guppies by the time I got out of it. When I hit teenager, got more into reptiles, so I kept a fish tank or two, but it was mostly snakes and lizards. Then, and this is where my namesake comes from, I joined the military right out of high school, so I went into the Marine Corps for 4 years. Didn't keep fish that whole time, got out, was probably out for 3 years before I got another fish tank. My brother called me and he's like, "Hey man, I got a fish tank like we used to have." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm going to start another one too." That was 2.5 years ago. I had one 20-gallon starter kit that I bought from Walmart. And there's over 50 tanks in here now. I mean, anything from 150 gallons down to I think the smallest running tank in here is 10. And plans for a lot more. I didn't get good at keeping fish until like 2 years ago because when I was younger, I didn't have internet. I grew up out in the sticks. So like I didn't have access to all that information like you do now. So like YouTube and Google and a lot of aquarium co-op stuff like really helped build my knowledge of fish keeping to the point where I can kind of maintain the amount of volume of fish that I keep.
Gotcha. Yeah, this internet is a beast, man. Because I myself also grew up in a little bit child, man, where I'd get a bucket of water and I'd run it out the faucet. Mind you, when I'd catch them from the creek or something and keep them in a bucket, they were fine. So I'm gonna add some water to it and I'd run straight out of the faucet. Kill everybody.
I'm lucky. I've always had well water, even as a kid.
Oh man, I wish, because where I live now, I like where I am, and I would have to move a little bit closer to the country to get well water. So I don't know, but yeah, it would be a whole lot easier if I could just run it straight out of the faucet. Hey, y'all, welcome in. Fish Snatcher, Melvin's Reef, Sunfish Assassin, Chevy Fish, Welcome, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Freaky Fish Lady, HC Aqua. All right. Yeah, so hey, what's your family dynamic look like? Married, children?
Yeah, so married for about 2 years. We have two daughters. One is 4, one is a month and a half. So we just welcomed our second daughter in. Um, my wife is super supportive of this. At first, she was kind of skeptical, right? Like when we moved in together, I was like, I have like 6 fish tanks. She's like, that's fine, bring them. We started with 6 about 2 years ago, and it just kept growing. And at the time where we used to live, all my tanks were in a bedroom, so it was her spare room. She just gave it to me when I moved in with her, and I just kept packing tanks in this little bedroom. Then she got promoted, so we had to move, and she's like, "We'll find you a fish room this time. It's not going to be in my guest bedroom anymore." Just the whole time I'm trying to like get rid of the bed that's in there, and like, oh, I can put more tanks in if we can get rid of this bed. And she's like, you are not getting rid of that bed. So when we bought this house, that was kind of the prerequisite, is we had to find a fish room.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. Ready-made supporter like that, man. It don't always happen like that, but that's a beautiful thing.
I find a lot of people don't have a super supportive partner like that. Like she's bought me hundreds of dollars in fish at a clip. I mean, I always end up having to pay her back, but she's willing to do those things for me because she knows how important this hobby is. And some things maybe you don't find often, or you get an opportunity that you wouldn't normally. So if I don't have the money for it, she'll usually give it to me for the time being. My first Christmas present from her was 2 used 125-gallon tanks that I found real cheap.
Ooh, man.
So yeah, super supportive. My biggest supporter.
Oh, really? What's that? T's fish tanks, fish room with house around it. Right?
So if it was up to me, this whole house would be fish tanks. I'd have a full-time aquarium staff.
I know that is right. Yeah, that's not gonna be even close to reality for me. But hey, wishful thinking, man. Wishful
So
thinking.
if things go the way I want them to, so this is kind of the prerequisite to the store. So if you guys don't know too much about me, I'm a DIY fish keeper. I try to build everything myself, make everything myself. I built the fish room. I built most of the racks and the air system and everything in here. But I buy and sell a lot of fish. I have some fish that I keep constantly, but I buy and sell a lot of fish. And the end goal for me is to have a store and have my full-time income be between YouTube and a fish store. Like if I can do fish full-time, that's the dream for me. And that's kind of the thing that I'm working towards with keeping so many fish. And like, I know some people are listening, like 50 some odd tanks, like that's a lot. Some people think it's a little. But when you get into selling a lot of fish, you'll notice to keep everything that everybody wants all the time, you need a lot of room, like in a lot of empty tank space. Because I have everything from Endler guppies and corridors and pistos to discus and angelfish and jaguar cichlids and oscars and bichers. Like I have any kind of freshwater fish. I even have goldfish. I bought goldfish 2 weeks ago. It was the first time I ever bought goldfish in my life.
Oh, literally?
Yeah. I refused to keep them for the longest time, but I got some nice Ryukins, so they're like short and they kind of wobble through the water. So I thought they were pretty cool. So I figured I'd try them.
Okay. I think my favorite, it's almost hard for me to say, but like my guilty pleasure fish, I guess, was like the black goldfish.
Blackmores are nice.
I've had them a few different times, but I don't keep them long, Yeah, just from outside looking in, that might be my guilty pleasure fish.
Because there's a 150-gallon pond on the floor next to me. Right now, there's a 2.5-foot long alligator gar that I got. I was buying a tank and it came with the tank, and it couldn't even barely turn around in the tank. It was too big. The tank's only 18 inches wide, so he's in this pond right now. But once I find a home for him, I'm looking to like rehome him to like a Bass Pro Shop or Cabela's that have those huge monster tanks, like something he can really fit in. I might do this pond to either goldfish or guppies. I haven't decided yet.
Okay, guppy. But yeah, do Cabela's, they'll have the gar in there with the bass and whatnot at that big old giant tanks?
Some of them will. There's like a whole process. It's insane. Like we have to call like the national acquisition number, and they have to put us in touch with a store that can cater to that kind of fish, because some of them have spotted gars I've seen. and a couple Florida Gar. So some store in the state or tri-state area should be able to take them. If not, I'll just take a ride on down to the Ohio Fish Rescue and give them to Big Rich.
Yeah, Richard, take them.
Yep.
Definitely that.
I've always wanted to visit the rescue, so maybe that'll be my excuse finally.
Right?
Put him in that big pool of his.
Most definitely. That pool is super cool to me. Super cool. I watched the actual building of it, when the pond guy came in and all that he did, and it's one of those things where as a youngster, I'd see people's pools. I'm not a swimmer, so I never just had a desire for me to have a pool to swim in, but I was always imagining, man, you would have your own pond, right there at your house, watching the Beverly Hillbillies, back in the day when I was younger, man, cement pond as they called it. I was like, yeah, that would be a good idea. And then to see that come to fruition like that indoors, I'm like, man, I like that. That was a good idea. That was for me. Most definitely.
It's something I know a lot of people, like, especially in the monster fish keeping community, like joke about. They're like, oh, I just turned my pool into a pond, and everyone's like, haha, but Big Rich did it, and everyone's like, that is so cool.
Everybody else's
like
wife.
You did it.
Everybody else's wife is on the side like this.
Don't you even think about it.
You can look at his. No, we're not going to do that.
Listen, I might be able to connive my wife into something like that one day. She gave me permission to dig a pond. I just got to figure out how to make a pond work year round.
Hey, well, it's open for you, though. So, yeah, you good. You good. Yeah. Like
I said, she'll let me do just about anything as long as the fish, for the most part, stay in the fish room. She go nuts.
Okay.
Go have fun.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, so what do you do? Oh, let's go to this one first. What would you like to see more of, barring the pandemic at this point in the fish hobby?
What I would like to see more of in the fish hobby? I would like to see less, I don't know if judgmental is the right word, but so I'm in a lot of fish groups on Facebook and stuff like that, and a couple of forums, and I've noticed people are incredibly rude, especially to new fish keepers, that they, like, if somebody doesn't know something, they don't know that they don't know that. And like the people that say like an inch a gallon, or you just have to top off, like those people probably got that advice from the only person they know who keeps fish, and that's probably their local fish store. So it's, not everyone spends 4 hours a day looking up fish stuff like I do. So they don't know any better, and people really give them a hard time about that instead of just giving them the correct information to make them better fish keepers. And that like drives me nuts.
Right. I agree with that one. I had a situation where I think I was in a killifish group, and I just asked the question. Just asked the question. And the guy went in. You can look it up on such as I said, well, sir, my understanding was this forum was for experienced hobbyists to help inexperienced hobbyists. Forgive me for asking you a question, sir. You're going to send me all, and, everybody went in on it. You're right. That is what we're supposed to do. Because, it was crazy the way he did it, Well, look up. I'm like, okay, well, what is the name of this group? And he was, oh, man. Yeah. He was going to go in.
They get real mad when you call them out and prove that they're just being like asinine. Just like you do realize that like the whole, like, and that's the point of a lot of those groups, is to bring fish keepers all over the world together to like share experience. And that's kind of how I try to frame it to people when they get short of patience with a new fish keeper. Because like, as somebody that sells fish, I have people come to me so often that they got their first fish tank, they heard about me from a friend or whatever, so they wanted to come get fish, or they found me on Craigslist or however they found me, and they'll ask me a million questions. So like I have this lady that comes in, she's kept fish like many years ago, but she's got them for her two boys now. So she set up a 29-gallon tank. She just used to like do the PetSmart like neons and guppies in a tank when she was a kid, and that was her only experience. But her two boys are 13 and 10, and it's really cool because they do look up a lot of stuff on their own, but they're still only 10 and 13. So every time they come over, they always ask me a million questions, like unceasing questions the entire time they're here until they leave with their fish. But I'm patient with them because I know that those two little kids are going to be the next people that are like me, and they're going to have a good experience with somebody that has been keeping fish longer than them, giving them good advice and good information, and it'll give them a good base of knowledge to start their hobby with. And I think that people that are short of patience and that are like downright rude and nasty to new fish keepers in these groups, like really shoot the hobby in the foot because they push those people away. They're like, wow, fish keepers are jerks. I don't want anything to do with them, you know? So that's what I want to see more, less of. And I want to see more people just helping the newer hobbyists and being a little bit more patient and understanding and remembering how you were when you had your first fish tank.
Most definitely, man. Hey, I'm right there with you, because this, I don't care how long you go keeping fish, it still keeps a childlike glint in your eye, you know, when you see a new fish, or when you're getting a new fish, or you go to a new, new LFS, or so to start them off right, you're talking about years on top of years of just sheer enjoyment. Don't take yourself or it too seriously, but just enjoy, man. The knowledge that goes along with it makes it that much more fun, because as we spoke on the fish die scenario, we know it to be true, but you don't want to be the reason that your fish always die.
Yeah.
That would definitely run you off, man. Definitely. Hello, Fish Dreams. How you doing? Susan of SSC Aquatics, who will be with me tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. on the Aqua Shop. Okay. Well, you see your kids, you got a looking into the future, your kids being partners with you in your store, being fish keepers.
They're going to end up spending every weekend at the store with me. But the 4-year-old loves coming into the fish room. So like way back when I first started, I say way back, like a year and a half ago, when I was new in YouTube, I did a video of my daughter feeding the fish room, and it was super cute. She was like 2 years old, like adorable. And she knows the names of a lot of the fish too. Her favorite thing is to come in the fish room and look at the fish and feed them. So she'll be like, those are jaguar cichlids and those are guppies. Like she learns it pretty good, and she loves it. It's her favorite thing on the planet. Okay. So yeah, they'll be with me all the time. It's a big part of who I am and our life collectively, because it takes up our whole garage, because it's what I spend a lot of time doing. My daughter watches my YouTube videos with my wife, and she'll be like, Daddy's on TV. It's like, you know what I mean? So for her, it's really cool.
Hey, and it's good they're starting off so young. I mean, mine are like adults and teenagers, and Daddy on TV,
By the time they're 15, they're going to know the scientific name of everything I've ever kept. And that alone should be enough to keep the boys away. Start talking fish nerd talk. She's like, nope,
yes,
this girl's
definitely
too weird. She's too weird. That's my hope anyway. It's my hope.
Hey, I'm not mad at that hope, man. We all hold hope when we got the baby girls. We all hold hope to it's something to keep the boys away. Most definitely. So, what fish clubs in your local area do you belong to?
The only one I'm actually like on the books a part of is the Cichlid Club of York in York, Pennsylvania. But have gone to the Philadelphia Club meetings, which is about 2 hours away. Lancaster, which is about 40 minutes away. I go to a lot of the Lehigh Valley stuff with Karen and Alan Haas. And I know Michael's done fish room tours for them before, because Michael will be at a lot of these events because we're fairly close to one another as well. But I spend a lot of time between the York and the Lehigh Valley Club, because the Lehigh Valley Club was my first fish club. It was when I found out fish clubs are a thing, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. My first fish club meeting was the day my wife and I got married, because we had a justice of the peace. It was a small thing. And then that night, because I never had Mondays off, and we got married on a Monday. Was the Lehigh Valley meeting. So I was like, honey, please. And she's like, yeah, go. So the night I got married was also the night of my first fish club meeting. That goes to show you how supportive she is of all this
Yes,
stuff. And yeah,
yes, most definitely. Mine wouldn't have heard that one.
she's a nice lady. I say it all the time. My wife is a nice lady.
That's a wonderful thing, man. Yeah, hey, I'm still so intrigued by the physical fish club, and me saying it like that, like it's a unicorn, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm right outside of Houston, and I mean we do kinda. I'm saying it like that because there may have been like there's a better club to where they had, I think maybe one. They had an actual better show sponsored by LFS, but there's no brick and mortar actual meetings. It's mostly on Facebook. Houston has a Facebook club, but getting together is the thing. They don't just get together, you
Right.
know.
So all the clubs that I mentioned before have like meeting dates. Like the Cichlid Club of York is the first Saturday of the month. You know, Lehigh Valley was today actually. And just so on and so forth. And sometimes they do online things where they'll have a speaker come. I've been a speaker at the Cichlid Club of York club before, but they'll zoom in speakers. Like we had Dean Tweeddale of Aquarium Co-op be our speaker last month, which was really cool.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah. So we do that, but we also have in-person meetings, and COVID's made it hard because the places that they normally meet are you only have a certain amount of people you're allowed to have in the building in close proximity at any given time. So it's been hard with it being winter, not being able to do outside events, and with the limitation to how many people you could have in a building or a room. But next month is the Cichlid Club of York's first in-person meeting auction in like 4 months, 5 months maybe. The last time I went down to the Lehigh Valley was just a swap in a parking lot in like January. But they're doing a big fish flea market. So as a seller, I'll just pay for my table spot and sit out there all day and talk to people about fish and selling fish. Those are my favorite things because you get to meet a lot of people that way. And even though I'm still small, I'm bigger locally than I am like nationwide on YouTube because of how active I am in the clubs. So a lot of these people in the local clubs know who I am, or they found out who I was by seeing my videos about the things with the local clubs. So like,
Okay.
oh, you're the guy from York, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I started here actually. This was my first club, and like, oh, that's you know what I mean. So getting to talk to
Okay.
like new and excited hobbyists, like I was in PetSmart in Lehigh Valley one day dropping off fish, and like this kid came up, he's like, "You're veteran aquatics," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, I watch YouTube. That's so cool." And I'm like, "I'm a normal fish keeper, I promise you." And it's weird. Like when I met Scott McLaughlin or Michael from Michael's Fish Room, like it was weird seeing them in person after having watched them on YouTube for so long. You get a little starstruck, and then you realize like real fast, like they're normal people, like super normal. Like Corey is a super normal person. Like yeah, so I'm getting used to the being recognized because of videos and not because I've sold them fish in the past.
Right. And it's cool, man, being so close to the fish keepers that we see as, as big big fish
Yeah,
keepers. I mean, it's super cool, man. That's super cool. And to be able to get that experience of knowing that they're just regular people, don't as we might in our own minds visualize or think someone, is, you get an actual chance to realize or find out that they're not really like that. They're not big time in anything like that.
yeah, they're
No,
normal
that's
people that have been doing it longer and a little bit better maybe, and you got to learn. But you also learn like Joey, for example. Like I've never met Joey, Waru Joey, King of DIY.
yeah,
But a lot of the people that I know have met him, and like he actually is kind of the way you would expect him to be. Um, Loud, energetic, type of person like he is in his videos. So some people are very like their videos, and some people are not.
gotcha. Yeah, I had a discussion with somebody about that today. About the people who are good at and this is not in a negative way at all, but there are people that are good at creating personas, and then you have the ones that are just,
Yeah.
this is it, this is them. It's like, man, you really like that, yeah.
Sometimes you have to create a persona. So like I am prior military and like I've always worked in business and been in like large areas working with large groups of people at a time. But I'm still like a loner type of person. Like even before coronavirus, like I didn't go out that much. I mean, I worked obviously and did all the normal things you would do as a family, but I'm mostly a stay-at-home type person anyway. So for me to get up and like just recording was the hardest thing for me to get comfortable with. And like I would talk too fast and I just like would get my words all mixed up because I would get nervous because you feel like you're talking to a whole bunch of people. And it took me like 3 or 4 months to even get semi comfortable talking to a camera without having like anxiety over doing it.
Okay. Yeah, me, it's the other way around. It's I have no problem talking to anybody, anywhere, anytime, any size, any size group. It's just being consistent at pulling the camera out. You know what
Yep,
I'm
we
saying?
were talking about that because
Yeah,
we
that's
do so much every day, but it's like, when do you pull the camera out, and how often do you just forget? Because you're just in the middle of doing something, and you're like, "Oh man, I could have recorded that." Oh well.
for real. Thank you, Fish Dreams. Thank you, thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying. But yeah, I mean, it happens to me so much, man. Oh man, 2 o'clock in the morning, and see, I work 11 p.m. to no, my fault. I wake up at 11. 1 a.m. to 11 a.m. So when I'm off, I'm just in here. Everybody's asleep. YouTube is on the TV, and I'm watching. Then all of a sudden, I have some extra bricks in there. And I'm dragging bricks through the house. Like past everybody that sleep from the garage to my fish room. At 2 o'clock in the morning, building a stand. Stuff like that. you know, or I have an idea for a filter. Hey man, I'm gonna make this filter, and it's gonna be the best thing since sliced bread. Put it together, because I've been the DIY guy, since I was a little bitty fella. Because we in the country, no money. If I wanted it, I built it. I can still do it today. I never, ever, 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 ever put it on video. It's like after the fact. Hey guys, look. Then they're like, uh, let us
How did you
you
build it?
yeah, let us in and see what do you
Yeah,
got. And I'm like, man, I'd have to lay all this stuff out right here. And then I'd have to go detail by detail. I can't. I can't do it. I
it's
can't.
hard, especially when you start building it to like stop and record, build, stop and record, and it like doubles the amount of time you're taking to build the thing that you're building. Like I did a video about a electric free air pump. So that was when all that stuff happened in Texas, and that's why I made it. So I made an air pump out of 2 5-gallon buckets, and I should have been able to do it in like 10 minutes flat, but I had to record and explain. So it took me like almost an hour, like everything said and done, to explain how it worked, to show how I put it together, to show that it actually worked. So it takes a lot of time, and especially in something that's already very time consuming for me, at least, because of the sheer volume of stuff I have. So like finding the time to, okay, fine, I'm going to actually take the time and record and explain this is kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah, I had a scenario where, I mean, I pulled it off, but it was because I was being held accountable in a sense. Raleigh, a fish keeping Jamaica, wanted me to do, be a part of a series, your favorite aquarium plant. And Hornwort just happened to be my favorite aquarium plant. And he was like, hey, brother, you want to make a video and be part of it? And I'm like, yes. He gave me this crazy amount of time before he was going to start the series, which was like bad, for me. It was bad. So Time went by. He checked back in, emailed. I said, I got you. I got you. I got you. I missed the first deadline, which he was smarter than me, you know. So he set a deadline that was still out a little way. So when I actually made, okay, pull out my phone. I made some still shots. I made some actual live, well, not live, but some motion shots, to edit in. Then I spoke on them. And again, like I say, talking. That's what I do. So as I got to going, I'm walking around in my backyard and I'm explaining why I like, the Hornwort, the different applications you can, use the Hornwort. It came together. Video came out pretty good. It's like though I have to ramp myself up every time just to do that, just to do it. I have to ramp myself up. No, Daddy, don't hate the Hornwort. Embrace the Hornwort, man.
Hornwort is a good plant. It is a very good for fry, floating plant. Just throw it in the tank with some light. You're good. A lot of my guppy plants guppy tanks have either Java moss, Hornwort, or they have guppy grass in them.
And see, what happened with me is I would kill guppy grass. Like everybody would say, man, the guppy grass will take over my tank. Man, I'd kill guppy grass. Kill it. I mean, I don't know what happened.
You're not the first person I've heard say that, so it's not a weird thing. So I have somebody that breeds a lot of fish for me, just because I'm limited on space at this point. And we were talking about plants. He's like, yeah, I can't get Java moss to grow to save my life. He's like, but man, I have a ton of guppy grass. So it's like some people are like, I do okay with guppy grass, but I do even better with Java moss. Like I have a ton of Java moss. Like I'm just constantly putting it in new tanks. But it's funny. Different people have different problems with different plants, I've noticed.
Yeah, mosses evade me. Thank you, Fish Dreams. I believe in energy, ma'am. I believe in energy. If your tank is running out, I'm gonna try to fill it back up. Ergo, tank, big tank, Hank. Play on words. But I try to be a good dude in real life because we don't understand how small this world is. I know I'm going off a little off on tangent right here, y'all. I just read something down here in the chat though. This world is very small, and me working in the penal institution, sometimes people pop up that were actually locked up. You don't remember them because you're going about your regular day, and they pop up on you. Hey, boss, I'm doing this now in life. I'm doing that, showing you how important it was that you respected them and that you treated them like human beings while they were locked down, being redirected per se. The system doesn't do a good job of that, but that's another rant that I'd go on, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But them just showing up on you.
Yeah.
And you don't even recognize them. I mean, it could be dangerous if you had been a disrespectful, a bad individual. Whereas in my case, since I'm not naturally that guy, I've had a lot of pleasant experiences with people just popping up on me that know me and I don't know them, or the ones that know Big Tank Hank, at my LFS up the street, when that first happened to me, that was crazy too. But yeah, try to always be somebody who puts in more than they take away in society. When you're dealing with other people, try to be self-sufficient that's not to say that everybody can. I understand that. That's what you have, those people who can build up a backlog of energies for themselves that they can just continue to pass out because there's people out there who can't. They can't do it for themselves. Okay, let me get back on fish because I'll be stuck here.
We talking about life?
Yes, I'll be stuck there forever because that's what I do. But yeah, Hornwort. My first run in, with Hornwort, I had the problem that a lot of people have with the leaves, the conical leaves breaking off, and getting your filter, and it's usually it happens when you mishandle them or they're almost dead. When you get them, they're gonna shed like that, so in order to start over. And if you beat them up in your tank, that's gonna happen also. But if they're pretty decent, You just put them in there, they got you.
Yep, they just take off. I actually have to go get a charger because I'm a terribly prepared person, so my phone's gonna die. So I'll be back in like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, you good, you good, good. But yeah, y'all, that horn, the hornwort can be be an enemy, but it loves you. Believe me. Am I echoing on his side over there? And so you can actually make trees. I have some videos where I used my hornwort to look like trees. I have a one that's called like a creepy Halloween tank. I can't remember exactly what the name of it is, but I actually used it, in my aquascape like actual trees, and it looks good. Well, I think it does. But yeah, you can control it if you get them. If you get it, oh, it grows so fast though. You have to prune it like anything else. But hornwort will, especially when you put it in the substrate. All you have to do is just keep the runners that's going up, just keep them cut down just above the surface where it stays like this. It'll get bushy, but just keep trimming it and moving it over. It'll just keep growing, just keep propagating. But yeah, I hadn't had it to really break down on me since my first start out with it. Yeah, the screen turned sideways over there. It didn't stop that going. And that's gone altogether. I guess the battery went on down. Well, fish streams, I find that most of us fish nerds do have have big hearts because it's kind of hard to. Well, I can use the word love for animal. Some people think that's crazy, but to love small creatures outside of the human animal, to have love for those other living creatures, have a tendency to make your heart just a little bit softer, a little bit more, malleable, form, shaping. It makes you a little bit more caring. I mean, I don't know the connection. I guess it's just the fact realizing that these other creatures also exist, that they rely on you, and it's easier for you to develop a bond. Now you got the people who will pull the wings off of flies and stuff like that. Those those are the harder people out there. Roach though, I don't have a love for a roach. I kill a roach in a heartbeat though. Y'all forgive me, but that's about the only animal that I feel like that about. So how y'all doing tonight? Melvin, what's going down? Susan, looking forward to tomorrow, ma'am. Fish fam mom, looking forward to tomorrow. A long time ago, I had been wanting to meet you, and have you on the stream. My time and stuff, my time was just so hard because I had a different schedule, and I don't want to inconvenience. I don't want to inconvenience anybody. So, when this schedule came around, that's a little bit better. And I thought about if I could find a spot on a Saturday that would work better for certain people, because that Saturday stream is for like I'm gonna try to introduce people that are outside of YouTube that are integral in the fish hobby. I'm focusing mostly on that on Saturdays, but also for people who I really, really, really want to get on a stream who this late like now, it's inconvenient for a lot of people. So in order to make room, I'll do an overflow. I'll do an overflow over there, you know. And you got some time in the game, Fish fam mom, hey, I'm gonna make room over there on that Saturday for you. Hey, some of you younger people, y'all have to be on here with me on Friday now. Don't feel slighted. You're not slighted. Fish fam mom been paid in. Oh, Patrick, man, I'm gonna look into seeing what I can do. Tell you what, go to Facebook to uh Texas Fish Keepers. Look for that group. Look for that group. And you'll be able to move them. Because I'm supposed to be moving out here pretty soon. So as bad as I want, as bad as I want to take them off your hands, it wouldn't even be responsible for me to do it. But yeah, Texas Fish Keepers. Yeah, they'll be able to do something for you over there. Plug. It's a wonderful group. Wonderful group. But yeah, check it out. Texas Fish Keepers. Devontae Berry is the moderator and the creator of that page. And I have a video, Aqua Shop video, my very first Aqua Shop video, actually. I interviewed him. He's an importer, young importer. He's out of the Austin area, but I mean, he does all of Texas. He comes through Houston also. Check that video out. He's a pretty good dude, very informative. And that page will really help you. And quickly, they have some threads. Like we had when the storm actually hit, they had a thread over there where people were just donating fish to get people back up, to get people's fish game back going, and people just donating. So yeah, definitely. Father Fish, you in the house? Thank you for coming through and visiting us today, sir. Thank you. But I appreciate you though, ma'am, for being able to come through. Jay Oliver, welcome, sir. Welcome. Yeah, Fish Dreams. I can say watching Father Fish's videos, I had never done dirted tank before that. I had never done deep substrate before that. It's worked out very, very well for me, in my little fish room over here. I go down to my local creek and actually dig mud out of the creek, and I cap it with either fine gravel, or sand. The plants go crazy. I mean, my tanks just flourish. Fewer water changes. Fish look very healthy. Water healthy. I've even had a colony of worms that live in the substrate. You see them going through all the time that the fish actually, would eat. I really, I really like the change in my fish tank. Bo Tanks is in the house, y'all. Go check out Bo Tanks on YouTube. New young YouTuber with a lot of passion for this thing. Thank you for coming through, sir. Anybody got any questions on there for me? Because if I take off talking, I'll just be rolling off on a tangent on anything. But yeah, we're supposed to be. Uh-oh.
Hi.
All right. Back in the house.
Yeah, sorry, my phone died while I was going to look for a charger.
Oh no, you good. Yeah, when you jumped off, it was echoing, and then the screen turned sideways. We couldn't figure out what was going on. Oh, you're sideways now. Did you freeze? I think he froze up, y'all. This old internet. But yeah, Patrick. Man, that angel though. Tell you what, Patrick, hit me up. I may be able to, because you say one angel, I may be able to take that angel off your hands though. I wouldn't mind having that one fish. The others, I can't do a colony, but I got a 20 tall over there that angel can go in. Hit me up on my email, thebigtankhank@gmail.com. I might actually be able to do something tomorrow for you in regards to that fish. Yeah, y'all. I mean, this fish hobby is a very important um hobby to have. I mean, as far as the therapeutic um benefits I get from it, just speaking for myself, and I know it helps a lot of people. Just speaking for myself, and we can't be so selfish with it as though we own it or it belongs to us, because it's to be shared. It's to be shared. I mean, when people hear you say, it saved my life, and people think, oh, that's so cliche, or did it really save your life? Yeah, I can say it actually saved mine. I had no history of anxiety, none whatsoever. But I went through a situation where I ruptured my Achilles working in the juvenile side of the penal system, which in turn forced me to have to sit at home for a long time. And mentally, it it played some bad tricks, played some bad tricks on me. Okay, y'all. Dylan just sent me a message. His phone still needs to charge up, and he apologizes because he may have to cut the stream short tonight, which is cool. It's good that he came in and spent the time with us that he did, and we understand. Hey, charge your battery, man. Because you didn't have to come through for the length of time that you did, and we thank you very much. Proud of you, to see where you've come. And initially, I had no idea that you had been in the game for like 18 years. I had no idea. Catfish, what's going on? I had no idea you had been in for so long. But people, I had a 7-second beta video about 2 years ago. I posted it 7 seconds. I just saw this fish at the LFS, recorded it because it was pretty, and got 120,000 views on it. Ooh, 2-3 weeks. And he messaged me. He was like, man, what do you do? How to get this thing, this YouTube thing jumping and going. I'm like, I really don't know myself. That was just one of those roll of the dice. I didn't even think it was gonna do anything like that. I just wanted to show the fish. And I may have been at 300, 400 subs or something at the time. He was just getting started, and that young man jumped out there into the YouTube waters and just ran with it. Over 2,000 subs. I mean, has his own fish store right now in all respects and all regards. Doing very well, in the hobby, and I'm proud of it. I love to see people, hit the ground running and take off in this. I really do. I'm a little lazy, like I say, on the video recording side. So I'm all about talking. I'm all about reaching out into people. So when I actually hit 1,000 subs, I'm gonna say rather quickly, for initially how you think about it, it surprised me because I wasn't really filming videos like that. But I mean, God, for those who believe in the Father, and if you don't, No judgment, but that's just what I do. I believe. You know, when God has a plan for you, it's gonna work. Period. As long as you don't fight it, no kicking and screaming. Just let the plan run its course, and it's gonna work. Yeah, glad to see you in here though, Catfish. You know, because normally, you know, you be dozing on me. I'm gonna have to have you up. I'm gonna have to have you up on here though, Catfish. Yes, ma'am, Holly. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Susan. Most definitely, most definitely. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be the man that I am if it wasn't for the Father. Wouldn't be. Memorial City, yeah. I'm on for Barker Cypress and 529. So we relatively close. Let me see here. Uh-oh. I don't want no Siri. Uh-oh.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you back.
All right. My phone's probably going to die here in another second, but I didn't want to cut it short without saying thank you to you for having me on. And I'm sorry that I'm an imbecile and can't even charge my phone before doing something like this. But
Oh,
thanks to everyone for watching and taking the time and just being there to listen to us talk. I mean, it's really cool to just go back and forth with another fish keeper and fish tuber, just about normal everyday things.
yes, sir. We make it so hard, you know. That's just life in general. We make it so hard, man, when we were created in such a way that we are pack animals. You know, and you say animals, a lot of people, animals, I'm a human. Yes, we're still animals. And we are pack animals. You know, but society has taught us, you know, we don't need other people and we do. We do. You know, iron sharpens iron. You know, one man should pick up another man. Where one person is weak and another is strong, you should share those energies. You know, share those things, man. Where everybody's lifted up, where nobody's left behind. Yeah, man. I really enjoy, you know, being able to do this, man, and having you in here, man. The amount of
Yeah,
time, dude, it's quality. You know, it's
yeah, for
quality
sure.
time.
And like we were talking about before we started the stream, like this is a really good way to interact with other fish keepers, especially the way things are right now. So getting to just talk one-on-one to, like I said, another fish keeper is nice.
Most definitely.
Thank you,
Patrick
everybody, for
Hardy, I'm gonna put
watching.
that in the chat. Go ahead, go ahead.
I was just thanking everybody for watching to, come listen to me talk, listen to you talk to me.
Hey, and it's
Again,
worthwhile.
this is a really cool series, so I think it's cool that you have different people on here all the time, and it gives people a way to meet people or see people or listen to them speak that maybe they wouldn't have found otherwise. So this is a really cool series, and I hope you do really well with it. Maybe one of these days I'll come back when I remember to charge my phone.
Hey, the door to the den is always open, man.
I appreciate
Take
it, Hank.
take care of that wife and them babies. Bless you.
Thank you very much, sir, and health and wealth to you and your family as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
All right. Wonderful young man. Wonderful young man. Most definitely. Yes, fish dreams, we do. We do. We do. So many. I mean, we're taught as little people, you know, to be selfish. That's why we should raise our own children. You know, we let our TVs, we let the teachers, you know, the coaches, they are important. They are important, but no one can raise your child better than you. Shouldn't be able to. That's why we should always direct them in the way that they should go. Raise up a child in the way that they should go, and they should never depart. No, I'm not. Don't worry about it, y'all. I'm not gonna get preachy and have a whole church sermon on here, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of my faith. All right, Patrick. Most definitely. But yeah, people, thank y'all. We got 5 minutes to hit a hour mark. So I mean, he was on longer than he thought. The time flies by when you're having fun. Yeah, Holly. I mean, it's one of those times. I mean, it's the season. We're in a season that it is what it is, and we just have to change our directions, change how we move to fit this time, to work against it. To stay strong and just continue to do as we should do and not be blindsided. Not be surprised by anything. But it's okay. At all times. Petro Man, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, ma'am, Miss Susan. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm not afraid anywhere at any time just to talk to people. You can't come to a convenience store, stand next to me in line and not talk to me. I'm gonna talk to you over the gas pump when I'm pumping gas. Uh, Doctor's office, waiting room. You're gonna have to talk to me regardless. Ah, yeah, fish dreams. I'm trying. I'm trying to hold on to not being a grandfather as long as possible. as long as possible. I'm trying. Like it's my control. But my kids, my youngest turned 18 the end of March, so I've gotten them to adult and right below adult status. Survival LT, welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, I've gotten them to, right at grown people's status to where it's on them at this point. So, I got them past the little child age of having children. Didn't want that one because I was 27, 27 when I had my first child. Yes, but this world is still beautiful. This is a gift for us to be here. It really is. It really is. Yes, ma'am. I have 25, 20, and 18, and we done made it. We done made it. Nowhere close to being an empty nester. The wife and I, they're all still here in the house with us. But we've been married 22 years. I mean, hey, we used to it. It's all right. I'd rather them be here and I see them close their eyes every night knowing they're safe than to be out there in the world and me not knowing. Yes, ma'am, Fish Dreams. All you have to do is stay led. Just keep that heart open like that. Oh, okay, Fish Dreams. I mean, Fish Lady Holly. I got you. I got you. Yes, ma'am. 22 years. Well, y'all, I'm gonna get on up out of here. We have 58 minutes. We good. We good. We've invested some time. We've invested some quality time. Tomorrow, 1:30 Central Time, I have the Aqua Shop with Miss Susan, the fish fam mom of SLC Aquatics. Y'all make sure y'all tune in and come check us out. It's a Saturday. I know, hey, we be out moving around. Just give us a little bit of your time, just a little bit. It's stubborn, huh? I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, 25-year-old, they're not grown technically, but you can't tell them that once they got that long, got here that long. You know what I'm saying? No problem, Catfish. Thank you for coming through, sir. Thank you very much. Granddaughter 6 years old, precious baby. See, I'm trying to avoid they're still young and almost like my little kid because I know a grandbaby for me, that'll be ooh, it'll be like I'll probably try to take the baby as my own, you know. But I've raised them, you know. Me and my wife, we've raised them already. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. If I see that little bitty when it's over, I'll be trying to start over. Amen, amen. Y'all go get some rest, fall into some other streams, because I'm gonna see who else is streaming. I'm gonna go visit some people, show a little support before I lay it down. Y'all be good. God bless. Take care of them fish and love each other.